Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and we're here with this 1974/75 XJ12. It's an early carbureted car, the one I took for a test drive a while back. I'm doing a lot of work to it at the moment, not filming all of it. However, about to take the IRS out to swap out the diff, and I'm going to try a new method of removing the IRS. I usually just use a jack and a helper and get them out. However, I bought a portable small little motorcycle jack which lifts a bit flatter up, and I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I thought let's try a different method of getting the IRS out, see how that works. I will do a complete video at some point of taking the whole IRS out and rebuilding the whole thing. We're doing that on my 1975 XJS, but here I just want to see how this works out and trying a new method to see if it works or not. So let me show you how far I've gotten. Almost everything is disconnected, it's just the big mounts left and a couple other things. Everything is almost disconnected. I'll show you outside here and then we'll go underneath. We have the radius arms disconnected. This one I had to destroy the rubber to get it out, so we'll cut the metal part. The other side I managed to get off. Yeah, exhaust is off. Had to do a little bit of cutting there as well in a couple places, but I chose strategic places where I can easily weld extra material on. So that's pretty much it so far. I'm going to clean up some tools I've used. Then I will get the motorcycle jack underneath. We'll see if that works. Otherwise, I'll have to use the regular jack. But we'll try that out. I just have a couple things left to do underneath. So I'll go on there and film and show you guys that. And then we'll see if we can get this IRS down. It's a bit tight to film under here, but you can see the drive shaft disconnected. Up here is the parking brake mechanism. That is disconnected on both sides. So the parking brake cable is completely loose. The exhaust, I disconnected it there and here over there just because I couldn't get it apart on the other side. I still have that brake hose left to do, and then it's just the big main mounts and the whole thing should come down. That brake line is disconnected now, and I swept the floor here and got this, which is the small motorcycle jack I got. You can get these at most parts stores. They all seem to be able to handle about 600 or 700 kilos. This one's 680. And I've set it up so it is perfectly centered on the IRS. At least I think so. I need to double check. Yeah, pretty much perfectly centered. So let's try and raise it. Yeah, I think we're pretty much supporting it on here now. Yep, I can hear it lifting off the jack stand, so that's really good. I think that's a little bit left to go, but I think we'll stop there. Then we can go and loosen. It's 8 bolts left to go. It should be loose, and then we should be able to take it down. I do have some straps with it as well, so I may try strapping it on there. I'll see how balanced it is when it goes down. That's sort of the whole thing I want to achieve here. I want it to be more balanced going down than just doing this on a jack. I did put a strap on both sides around it like this, so I don't think it can tip over. And I'm gonna get these out. I got the 4 ones out on the last side. Took a little bit of work because someone's put really thick under seal, especially on the bolts. So it's been quite a bit of work with a wire brush on a screwdriver to get these off, but I seem to be able to get them out now. Let me see, it's a little bit tight back here. There we go. And if you have an impact, it helps getting these out. There we go. Everything should be loose now. Got the bolts out on both sides. I'm going to try and start lowering it. Hopefully that goes well. Since there was so much under seal, maybe I need a pry bar a little bit somewhere to get loose, but everything else should be disconnected. All right, I'm going to disengage the safety and then start lowering. It's coming down. Oh, it's just stuck on the safety. It went into the there's like 3 safety latches. That went really nice and smoothly. It went down completely level. It didn't feel like it was going to tip over at any time. Maybe I should have had the car a little bit higher up, but this is the first time. It's an experiment. Because I was worried about that little thing there touching, but that's fine. So you see, I need probably about 5 centimeters more. So I'll know that until next time. But now I'll just take a jack on one of the radius arm sides, lift the car up on one side, and that should be enough to lift it on both sides. And then this thing should pull out on the wheels. Just lifting it a little bit here. It's not much I need, like, it was like 5 centimeters or something, so that should be enough to roll it back. Back on the jack stands again, and there is the IRS. So that went really smoothly for a first time trying a new method. I've done the method with the jack a lot of times. The issue with that one is you need usually a helping hand to balance it. There was no way that this thing was going to fall over now, and I think installing it is going to be really nice this way. Yes, I need a little bit more height next time, but now I know that, and I felt that there was 5 centimeters extra to give lifting that. So I just need the car a little bit higher up, and I think this is going to work just perfectly. I know of many other methods. I've seen one that's really nice by Cam Chaos Chronicles, where he has a special bottom plate, the plate that goes underneath, and he screws that in with the jack. But that seems like a little bit of work, having to unscrew all that, put that in place. This is pretty straightforward. You just set it in place. Straps, I don't even think I needed straps, but it felt good having them, and then lowered it down, and that worked really well. Like you saw, I can lower it in steps, or if I held that blue pedal down, it would just lower down. But if I did it in steps, it just did like a tiny bit at a time, and I really like that. So I have a little bit of work to do, clean this up. The previous owner, not the previous owner, but the owner of this car has done a lot of work to the IRS. He's done the brakes and everything in place, but then the diff is noisy, so we're replacing that. So I'm just really stripping this down, putting the other diff in there, and building this back up. That is another thing I do want to talk about. Yes, removing an IRS is pretty simple, but in lots of times, you can get a lot of the work done with the IRS in place. The problem with removing the IRS, like on a car like this, like a 70s car, is that these joints on the exhaust on these are a lot harder to get apart, these ones, than the later ones they used on the 80s. So that can make this job difficult, and in that case, lots of this can be done in place. You can actually do the brakes and everything in place, or you can remove it. This one had a noisy input pinion. You can feel just how loose that is, so that's what we were hearing. But yes, we could have just fixed that with everything in place. However, we're putting in a diff with a better ratio, so this will have less revs on the highway. But that will be something I'll do. Not sure if I'm going to film putting this in and all that, but I did want to show you guys trying out a new method. I think this was a big success. And that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing me try something new. The jack method of removing it works really well. It's just usually an extra person balancing it, and there's no worse feeling than having the IRS fall off on the side. It's happened to me, and then they're quite heavy. This method, you can actually, I mean, if you're just doing like a major overhaul of it, you can actually keep it on this stand and you can raise and lower it while working on it. So that's really good, and then just roll it back into place. So I think this is a good way to go. I can't really just link to this product down below because it's just, this specific one is sold here, but I mean, they're all made in China. I think every single part still probably has one. So just look for a small motorcycle jack. This one cost me about $100, and so far I'm really happy with it. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.